Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathānvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadhutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we were discussing the pastimes of Krishna, which he is performing with the gopis in the Vrindavan. That is the beginning of Ras Panchadhyay, the 29th chapter, in which we discussed, which we heard how Krishna he played his flute, and just by hearing the flute of Krishna, all the gopis they left whatever they were doing, giving up all the family responsibilities, breaking all the relationships with their husbands, because they knew after they will go they will not be allowed to come back. But still they gave up all the obstacles, they gave up all the shyness, and in front of their husbands and brothers and sons they just went to give satisfaction to Krishna. But when they reached Krishna, he was indifferent to them. And then there was so many discussions which happened between gopis and Krishna, and ultimately Krishna he accepted them, and he started enjoying Rasalila, enjoying various pastimes. They went to the bank of Yamuna and they were enjoying so many pastimes. But the gopis they became proud. Just see, oh Krishna, the supreme person is there with me only. And Krishna does not like his devotees to become proud. Immediately he left along with Srimati Radharani. One gopi is mentioned. And when all the gopis they came to know that Krishna has disappeared, they started lamenting. So that was the 29th chapter. So in the 30th chapter, which is entitled The Gopis Search for Krishna. So Shukdev Goswami, he is also very sorrowful because Krishna has disappeared and all the gopis are lamenting. So suddenly he stopped speaking the last chapter and then continued the discussion. So Shukdev Goswami said that when Krishna suddenly disappeared from from midst of the gopis they became so very sorrowful, as if female elephants, a group of female elephants who have lost their husband, their male elephant. Similarly, the gopis, they were lamenting, they were in such distress. So, gopis, they started remembering Krishna, how he would speak in such wonderful, charming words, how he would smile, how he would glance over them, and just by that glance, it was so very wonderful. So, he, remembering all these pastimes, their hearts became overwhelmed, and and then they had no clue of how to find Krishna. So in desperation, they started depicting the pastimes of Krishna. Whatever Krishna, whatever pastimes he had performed, gopis, they started enacting. So they imitated different bodily movements of Krishna. One gopi said, "Oh, I am Krishna." Out of extreme love for Krishna, she started telling, "Oh, I am Krishna," and all the gopis started singing loudly the glories of Krishna. They searched for Krishna everywhere, and in their desperation, they started asking trees about Krishna. So this is a very very high level, very the topmost level of the Krishna consciousness which the gopis they are manifesting here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Antilila pastimes in Gambhira, he was also in this mood. He was always lamenting, "Oh, when will I meet with Krishna? I have no love for Krishna. When will I see Krishna?" And that's how he was always absorbed. So although all these pastimes, they are very, very high and esoteric pastimes, but as a sadhaka, as a practicing devotee, we have to understand that these pastimes should be respected and they should be adored, not to be imitated, not to be pondered upon in our contaminated state. Because if we prematurely in our conditioned state start contemplating on these pastimes, the intimate pastimes which Krishna has performed with his gopis, we may get distracted, we may get disturbed, because we are not on that level. So therefore, when we are hearing all these very highest of the topics of Ras Panchadhyay, we should always be grounded to the reality that where we are and how we have to go ahead in spiritual life. And all these pastimes, they should be, given all the high regards, highest of the regards, because they are actually the highest of the pastimes, most supreme, most pastimes which Krishna has performed with his most beloved devotees, the gopis. Aradhya Bhagwan Brajesh Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. Aradhya Bhagwan, Krishna is the supreme personality, he is the most worshipable Lord. Vrajesh Tanaya is son of Nanda Maharaj, residing in Vrindavan. And who are the topmost of the devotees? Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadhu. The Brajavadhus, the gopis, they are the highest devotees, topmost devotees. And we heard in the last chapter the amount of the level of dedication and surrender which these gopis have displayed. It is unparalleled. Nobody can reach up to these levels of surrender. That's why in the next chapter, in the 32nd chapter, next to next chapter, Krishna himself tells the gopis, "Oh gopis, whatever you are doing to me, whatever you are giving me, although I have taken a vow, yayatha mam prapadyante, but the love which you have for me, I cannot repay you." So these are the highest levels of Krishna consciousness, which is shown in these chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we are not in a pure consciousness till the time we have lust, anger, greed, we may not be able to appreciate. On the contrary, we may get disturbed hearing and seeing these pastimes. One time, one Western professor, scholar, he went to one of our devotees and said, "I have read Geet Govind." And he was really very angry. He was telling them, "What type of God you are worshipping? Do you know what Krishna does with all the gopis in the forest of Vrindavan?" So this devotee, he said, "Actually, Before going to the PhD study, you should know the basics of spiritual life. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what is the PhD level. So, therefore, as we are hearing all these pastimes, we have to always keep in front of our mind what is the basic of Krishna consciousness. Chanting 16 rounds minimum, following four regulative principles, trying to overcome our anarthas is a itself a big deal. Lots of our energy goes in that. So therefore, when we are hearing these pastimes, they should be adored, but we should know where we are and how we have to go ahead. So the gopis, they started singing loudly, calling separation, calling Krishna in separation. They started calling, asking the trees, various trees which were there in Vrindavan. They were saying, "Oh Ashwatthya, oh Ashoka, oh Nagrodha." There are different trees. They started asking, "Have you seen Krishna? Has the son of Nand Maharaj passed by from here? Has he gone from this way? Please tell us." So that's how they were asking. And actually, they are addressing each and every tree individually out of respect, because they were thinking that these trees, they are such decent trees, and if we respectfully ask them, they will tell us where Krishna has gone. So then, seeing that, oh, these trees, they are not replying, so they went to flower garden, and they said, oh, it is better to ask these plants who are very humble, which have pure hearts, rather than asking these trees. So then they ask, "Oh Ashoka, oh Naga, Punnaga, Bakula, Champaka, have you seen the younger brother of Balram? Has he gone by this side? Has he passed this way?" Still no reply. So this is complete, from a external point of view. If somebody hears all these things, he will say, "This is madness." That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, displayed in Ante Leela in Gambhira. Complete madness. That's why Kaviraj Goswami himself writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very, very difficult to understand. But if somebody with faith hears these pastimes, then they will be very strong in Krishna consciousness. ये बा नहीं बुझे के ह सुनीते सुनीते से ह कि अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित कृष्ण उपजी बेप्रीति जानी बेरसेर रीति सुनिले बड़ा होए हित. Even if you are not able to understand, just have faith and hear these pastimes. Krishna upaji be priti jani be rasera riti. You will develop love for Krishna. Then Kaviraj Goswami says, some people, they are asking me why you have written all these various Sanskrit verses. Grantha kaila shlokmay itar jan nari be bujhite. Yadi keha hina koe grantha kaila shlokmay itar jan nari be bujhite. So he says, "Arey, why have you written all these verses which are very difficult to understand? Prabhu re ya charana se kari varanana sarva chitte nari aradhite." I am just writing whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has performed, whatever pastimes he has performed. I cannot please everyone. I am just writing whatever pastimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has performed. So therefore, these pastimes which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed, they are itself very difficult to understand. The type of ecstasies which he displayed, it is unimaginable for a person to understand. And the gopis, they are the prime, emblem of those ecstasies. And that's why they are wandering like mad people in the forest, asking trees, asking plants. So, and then they say, even after asking plants, no reply. So, they say, oh, maybe, these plants, they have become so very fearful of Tulsi, and that's why they are not replying. So then they say, oh, maybe we should ask Tulsi Maharani, because Tulsi, she is such a great devotee of Krishna. Kachit Tulsi Kalyani Govinda Charana Priya Sahatvali Kulair Bibrat Drishtaste Priyochyutah. O most kind Tulsi, you know, on your you are offered on the feet of Lord Govinda. Have you seen that infallible Lord Krishna Achyuta? Please tell us. And they say, oh, Tulsi is also not replying. It seems that Tulsi has become intoxicated with pride because she is so very fortunate that she is getting a chance to be on the feet of Krishna. Then they say, better to ask some, little lower plants, jasmine plants, maybe because they are like co-wives and they do not have a fortune of being with Krishna always like Tulsi, so maybe they may reply. So they start asking the plants. O Malti, O Mallika, O Utapa, Utika, O Jati, has Madhav gone by from here, from this path? Please tell us. Jasmine is also not replying. Maybe out of fear of his of the co-wife Tulsi, they are also not replying. So then they see the trees, mango trees, pule trees, they are standing motionless. So they say, oh, these trees, they are like saints. Maybe they will reply. It seems that they are like sage who are in meditation on Lord Vishnu. They will not lie to us. Let us ask them. They start asking the trees. O Chuta, O Priyal, O Panas, O Amra. Different trees they are calling. O Arka, Bilvala, Bakula, Kadamba. Have you seen Krishna? You are selfless by nature. Can you please tell us? Has Krishna gone by from here? But then they realize, oh, they are also not replying. It seems that they are in complete absorption on meditation on Vishnu. Then some other gopi says, Are, why you are criticizing the inhabitants of Brindavan? You know, it if they are not replying, we should not criticize them. We should go and ask a person who has surely seen him. Another gopi said, who is that person? Do you know that person? So the gopi said, yes. The gopi pointed at the Mother Earth. Because Mother Earth is there observing all the various pastimes of Krishna. So they say, oh Mother Earth, what austerity you have done. You are getting chance to be touched by Krishna's feet. And you are in so much ecstasy that the grass which is growing, they are like the hairs which are standing on your body. You are in ecstasy. It seems that you are in ecstasy because of Krishna's walking on your surface. Or is it that because Vaman Dev appeared in the past and he walked on your surface, that's why you are so ecstatic? Or maybe in the past Varaha Dev came and he embraced you, that's why you are ecstatic? So please tell us. But still no reply. The gopis, they said, oh, why this earth will reply? She's intoxicated with her fortune. She's such a proud person. She's intoxicated because she is getting a chance to see all the pastimes of the Lord, and because her body is marked with the symbols of Krishna's lotus feet. There are symbols, there are 16 symbols on the feet of Krishna. It seems that Mother Earth has become proud because she's marked with Shankha, Chakra, flag, thunderbolt, and all that. And then, as they are walking by, they are searching frantically for Krishna. They see a female deer, doe, and they spoke to her. They said, "Oh friend, oh wife of the deer, has Achyuta been here? Has Krishna gone by?" And by seeing Krishna, you must have enjoyed. Please tell us if Krishna has gone by this path. And still no reply. Then Krishna, the gopis, they say, oh, they see that, oh, the trees are bowing down. It seems that trees are bowing down because they have noticed Krishna passing by. And then they ask the trees, oh trees, please tell us if our beloved Krishna has passed by with putting his arms on her beloved's shoulder, waving a lotus flower in his hand. Have you seen Krishna? So in this way, they are just asking, why gopis are imagining that Krishna is resting his hand on his beloved, because he was enjoying with her beloved for the long time. He may become tired. He might have become tired, and then maybe because honeybees were roaming around the face of his beloved, so that's why it seems that he is you know just trying to drive away the bees. So that's how the gopis, they are frantically asking every entity, all the plants, trees, animals. And then they say, oh, the trees are also not replying. Let us ask these creepers. Maybe the creepers, they were touched by Krishna. For sure, Krishna must have touched these creepers. Let us ask them. They ask the creepers, but still no reply. And in this way, even after asking all the entities, they were not getting any reply. So they became so very distraught, became depressed and very anxious. And to mitigate their pain of separation, they started enacting the pastimes of Krishna. This is very, very interesting. The gopis, when they are in separation of Krishna, when they want to experience Krishna, they started enacting the pastimes of Krishna. So therefore, whenever we hear those pastimes, whenever we chant the names of Krishna, Abhinnatvat Nama Namina, the holy name is non different from Krishna. The pastimes of the Lord, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, they are non different. Krishna is non different. So therefore, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami describes that a devotee should practice meditation on all these various aspects of Lord. Nam Dhyan, Rupa Dhyan, Guna Dhyan, Leela Dhyan. So all these different types of meditation, they are very essential for a devotee to come close to Krishna. And therefore, these are very, very potent ways. That's why Rupa Goswami has included them in the 64 limbs of devotional service. The more we are hearing our chanting, the more we are hearing the pastimes attentively in right consciousness, the more we can experience Krishna. Bhakti paresha anubhavo virakti anyatra chaisha trika eka kalaha prapadyamanasya yatha ashnatasyu tushti pushtekshut apayo nughasam. When we practice devotional service, these three things have to happen. Once one develops devotion unto the Supreme Lord, the devotional sentiments appear in the heart. Para ish anubhav, one can experience Krishna. This is what gopis are trying to experience. Para ish anubhav. Because they are now in separation from Krishna and they want to experience the presence of Krishna. So therefore, what they are doing, they are trying to enact those pastimes. They are trying to remember and glorify those pastimes. They are trying to sing and uh, remember the activities which Krishna has performed. And that is how we can experience Krishna. That is how we can develop a relationship with Krishna. As Rukmini Devi, she says, Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundar shrindvatam te nirvishya karna vivare harato angatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akhilartha labham Tvayachyuta vishati chittama patrapam me. O Krishna, O Achyuta, I have heard your glories. And just by hearing about you, I have developed attraction for you. Therefore, this hearing, that's what Brahman Patnis also did. They heard about Krishna. Shaupashrutya mukundasya rupa virya gunashriyah. Upashrutya, they had heard about Mukunda. So therefore, when we hear about Krishna in right consciousness, then we can experience Krishna. So therefore, all these gopis, they wanted to experience Krishna because they were experiencing intense separation. They started enacting various pastimes of Krishna. Because some of the gopis, they advised, they said, by imitating the form and the pastimes and activities of Krishna, I will show myself as Krishna, and momentarily I'll forget the uh, pain of separation from Krishna. That is the very powerful effect of discussing Krishna Katha. When we hear Krishna Katha, of course, for sure, the separation, the arati and vitrishna goes away. Yashrunavato apaiti arati vitrishna sattvam cha shuddhyet achirena pumsaha bhakti harauchat tat purushe cha sakhyam tadeva haram vadmanyase chet. As Parikshit Maharaj tells, when we hear about Krishna, apaiti arati vitrishna, whatever unwanted things, distaste, everything goes away. Sattvam cha shuddhyet, the existence becomes purified. And therefore we have to wear this garland of the pastimes of Krishna. Tadeva haram vadmanyase chet. When we hear the pastimes of Krishna, they are like the garland we have to wear. And the more we wear these garlands by hearing them, the more it becomes fresh. Nitya Nava Navaiman. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam Tadeva Shashwan Manaso Mahotsavam Tadeva Shokar Navashoshanam Nrinam Yaduttama Shloka Yasho Nugiyate. When we hear the pastimes of Krishna, it becomes newer and newer. So therefore, the gopis, they started enacting various pastimes of Krishna. One gopi imitated Krishna. Other gopi, just like a small child, imitated sucking her breast. Other gopi, they she became like small Krishna, crying, and other gopi became the cart. And this gopi, small Krishna, kicked this another gopi, enacting the Shakatasur Vadh. Another gopi took the role of Trinavarta and carried away the small Krishna. And this other gopi who was imitating the small Krishna, she caught hold of the neck of this gopi. Other gopi, she crawled about, with her ankle bells as small Krishna would move about in Vrindavan. Tau angri yugma manukrishya sarisripantyo ghosha praghosha ruchira brajkara dameshu तन्नादरिष्ट मनसा वनुसृत्य लोकम मुग्धम प्रभीतवतु पेयतुमन्ति मात्रोः. As Krishna would crawl, he would be attracted by the tinkling of the ankle bells. He would go and catch hold of the gopis who would walk in front, thinking that, oh, they are Mother Yashoda and Rohini. And when they would turn, oh, Krishna and would realize, oh, she's not my mother. And he would come back running, crawling fast and come to his mother. So gopis were imitating those pastimes. Then one gopi became like Vatsa. Other gopi killed that Vatsasur, imitated those pastimes. Bakasur pastime. One gopi imitated Krishna tending to the cows. Other gopi imitated Krishna playing the flute and imitating so many of the movements of the animals in Vrindavan. And as Krishna, as other friends would congratulate Krishna, oh Krishna, what a wonderful acting you have done. That's how this other gopi congratulated Krishna. Well done, well done. Other gopi, walked around, putting hand on the shoulder of other friend, saying that just see I am Krishna and how gracefully I am moving. So in this way, all these pastimes were performed. One gopi imitated Krishna lifting Govardhan. She said, "O residents of Vrindavan, don't worry about the rain and the wind. Please come inside this mountain. I'll protect you." In this way, they were meditating on Govardhan Dharan Leela. One gopi became Kalia, and other gopi became Krishna and put her feet on the head of one gopi that was acting as Kalia. In this way, they performed this Kalia Daman Leela. And other gopi imitated Krishna swallowing the forest fire, saying, "Oh, my friend, please close your eyes. I will protect you from this fire." They performed this Damodar Leela. One gopi, making a garland of the flowers, tied the waist of another gopi, and they performed the Damodar Leela. And other gopi became like a Krishna, and this Krishna covering the face, behaving as if she was afraid. So all these pastimes they were doing, they were enacting. In this way, they were running around, searching everywhere. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And as they were searching Krishna, in one corner of the forest, they found the footprints of Krishna. All of them they spoke at once. "Oh, just see, here is Krishna's footprint." Because everybody could understand and recognize Krishna's footprint. The gopis said, "Oh, just see, the marks of Krishna's lotus feet is very clearly visible here in this footprint. For sure, has gone by this path because this is marked with lotus, flag, thunderbolt, elephant gourd, barley corn, etc." Chakravarti Thakur and Jeev Goswami describes the various symbols which are there on the feet of Krishna. He says, on the right foot of Krishna there are 8 marks, and on the left foot of Krishna there are 7 marks. So on the right foot, one can see the flag, lotus, thunderbolt, elephant gourd, barley corn, swastik, upward line, and an octagon. These are the 8 signs, 8 marks on the right foot of Krishna. On the left foot of Krishna, one can see a rainbow, a triangle, a water pot, a crescent moon, fish, compass, a hoof, print of a cow. So all these gopis, they could understand, oh, now Krishna must have gone by this path. They started following the footprints of Krishna. And then they realized the footprints of Krishna, they were mixed with the footprints of his beloved. And they started speaking. "Oh, just see, oh friends, here we can see the footprint of another gopi who is walking with Krishna. For sure, Krishna must be putting his hand on her shoulder." Then they glorify the position of this gopi. "Anayaradito nunam bhagwan haririshwarah yanno vihaya govindah pritoyam manayadraha." Anayaradito nunam. This gopi must be perfect in her worship of Krishna. That's why Yanno Vihaya, that's why Krishna has left every one of us and he has gone with this gopi. So this verse, the Acharyas, they say this is the only place where where Shukdev Goswami is very closely mentioning about Srimati Radharani. Shukdev Goswami, with all his endeavor, he was trying to keep the name of Radharani hidden. Because he knew if he takes the name of Radharani, he will go into ecstasy and Parikshit Maharaj will go into ecstasy. So that's why, because he knew my student only has 7 days and I cannot afford to go into ecstasy now. Therefore, even if we like to do something, if there is some service ahead, if some service is given to us, then we should keep apart many times our likings and do whatever is required to do. So therefore, Shukdev Goswami, although he was such a great devotee, even just by taking the name of Srimati Radharani, he would go into ecstasy. That's why he purposely tried his best not to take the name of Srimati Radharani. And therefore, in this verse, automatically the name of Srimati Radharani is coming, shining forth. Although he is trying his best to hide the name of Srimati Radharani, Anaya Radhito Nunam, that is indicating Srimati Radharani. Although the gopis externally, it may look that the gopis are jealous of Srimati Radharani. देखो हमको छोड़ के उसके साथ ही चले गए. But actually the gopis, they are so very ecstatic that, oh, Radharani is getting such mercy of Krishna. That is the mood of Vrindavan. There is no envy. Even though apparently some envious emotions are expressed, but the essence of those emotions are Krishna should be happy. Even Srimati Radharani, it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kaviraj Goswami says, Radharani, when she sees that, oh, Krishna likes one gopi more than me, she pushes that gopi ahead of her and she tells, so please you go and serve Krishna. Ye gopi more kare dveshe, Krishnera kare santoshe, Krishna tare kore abhilash. Mui tare ghare aya tae sevo dasi hoya tabe more manera ullas. So Radharani is thinking, oh, if Krishna likes other gopi, although that gopi is envious of me, that is all external. But Krishna likes that gopi. You know what I'll do? I will go and serve that gopi so that she can serve Krishna better. So therefore, Radharani is the epitome of non-enviousness. So all these gopis, although externally they may express some emotions which may look to be envy, but actually in the hearts of their hearts, they are so very happy that, oh, Krishna is happy. So then these gopis, they saw one more footprint of Srimati Radharani. So Jiva Goswami describes the various marks which are there on the lotus feet of the souls of Srimati Radharani. In Ujjwal Neelmani, he quotes from Ujjwal Neelmani. He says, at the base of the large toe of her left foot, there is a barley corn. Below that is a mark of a disc. Below the disc is an umbrella. Below umbrella is a bracelet. And a vertical line extends from the middle of her feet till the juncture of the large and the second toes. And then at the base of the middle toe is a lotus, and then below that is a flag with a banner, and below that is a creeper together with a flower, and then there is a elephant goad. And on the heel of Srimati Radharani's left foot is a half moon. So there are 11 marks on the left foot of Srimati Radharani. Then on the right foot of Srimati Radharani, same at the base of the large toe, there is a conch shell. And below the conch shell is a spear. Below the spear, and then the base of the small toe is a sacrificial altar. Below the sacrificial altar is a earring. Below that is a spear. Then uh, at the base of second, third, and fourth and small toes is a mark of a mountain. Below that mountain is a chariot. And on the heel of the right foot of Srimati Radharani is a fish. So in this way, there are total 19 marks on both the feet of Srimati Radharani. So therefore, when the gopis they saw the footprints of Krishna and Srimati Radharani, they started glorifying the dust of Krishna's feet. धन्योऽहमि आल्यो गोविन्दाङ्घ्रिब्जरेणवः यान् ब्रह्मेशो रमादेवी ददुर्मूर्ध्न्यङ्गनुत्तये. So the gopis they say, oh, the dust of the feet of Lord Govinda is so very sacred that even Brahma, Shiva, and Rama, Lakshmi Devi, they are hankering for that dust. That dust is so powerful that they can destroy all sorts of sinful reactions. Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually, every day when Krishna would return from the cow herd, from the pasture grounds, all the devatas headed by Brahma, Shiva, they would come to take the dust of the Krishna's feet on their head. And then the gopis they continue. They say, oh, these footprints, they are actually disturbing us because this gopi has gone alone. Krishna has taken her to a secluded place and he's enjoying with her alone. And in this place we cannot see her footprints also. That means Krishna is carrying her. So in this way, all the gopis they are thinking what is going on. And then they say, oh, just see, here the feet of Krishna are more pressed more deeply. That means Krishna is carrying her beloved, carrying his beloved. And at this place, only the front portion of Krishna's foot is seen. That means Krishna is trying to pluck some flowers from the branch. So therefore, he is just, raising up. And here at this place, he must have decorated the hairs of his beloved. In this way, all the gopis they are thinking, searching for Krishna. After describing all this, Shukdev Goswami, he does not leave a chance to tell the readers, who is this personality who is doing all these pastimes. He is not an ordinary personality. Don't think he is an ordinary mundane boy or a man of this world who is an affair with the girl. रेमे तया चात्मरता आत्मा रामोऽप्यखण्डितः कामिनां दर्शयन् दैन्यं स्त्रीणां चैव दुरात्मनाम्. So he says, Shukdev Goswami says, Krishna, although he enjoyed with that one gopi, Remetaya, he is Atmarata, he is self-satisfied. Don't think that he is in need of somebody. Krishna is self-satisfied. Krishna is Aptakam. Whatever he desires, it gets fulfilled automatically. He does not need anyone. Atmaram. Atmarata, he enjoys within only. He is Atmaram, he is self-satisfied, and he is Akhanditaha. He is complete in himself. So therefore, we should understand, when Krishna is performing all these pastimes, they are not ordinary lusty pastimes of the men and women of this world. So therefore, we should never ever think, because these pastimes, they are very controversial pastimes. So as the devotees of Krishna, as the students of Bhagavata, we should have a very, very clear understanding of why Krishna is performing these pastimes. And is there any similarity between the mundane affairs between boy and girl and the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis? There is absolutely no similarity. They are like the sky and the ground, gold and iron, because there is no tinge of selfishness in these pastimes. And our material minds, because we are materially contaminated, we cannot even understand what is going on here. Our position is like a frog in the well, which can never understand what is going on between Srimati Radharani, Krishna, and all the gopis. Because we are wearing a glass with a particular color of three modes of nature. Till the time this glass of the three modes is there, we will see things according to our conditioned mentality. We cannot see and understand things which are completely spiritual. So therefore, we should be very, very clear that Krishna is beyond all these modes. Srimati Radharani and all the gopis, they are completely spiritual personalities. So whatever is happening between Srimati Radharani and Krishna, they are beyond our scope of speculation. Krishna, so Chakravarti Thakur, and in the purport, very nice purport it is there. You know, you should, if you should read this purport, 30th chapter, 34th verse. So the disciples of Prabhupada very nicely, you know, gives a wonderful explanation of what is happening between gopis and Srimati Radharani. Because generally it is conceived by ordinary people that, oh, this is like ordinary romantic affairs which is happening between a boy and a girl. But these pastimes are free from lust, ego, and any selfish desire. One may argue, अरे आप तो भगवान के डिवोटी हैं, you are devotee of Krishna. Beauty is in the eye of beholder. You are devotee of Krishna, so why you will see any fault in this pastime? You may be only imagining that Krishna's pastimes are pure. But this argument ignores a very, very important fact. One should understand that even followers of Krishna, they follow the four regulative principles. They are chanting every day, fixed number of rounds minimum. They have a clean life. They are very, very, uh, they are following highest of the moral values. If the devotees of the Lord, they are so very great. We know the story of Arjuna going to heaven. Urvashi approaches Arjuna and tells, we can enjoy. Arjuna says, no, I was looking at you with, because you are the wife of one of my ancestors, Pururava. I was looking at you because you are like my great great grandmother. Urvashi says, all these relations are for the earthly beings. This is heaven. You can enjoy with me. Arjuna says, no, never, I cannot do this. If devotees of the Lords have such high caliber of morality, how can somebody say Krishna was a debauchee or a lusty fellow? So when one is completely free from material lust, then actually one can realize the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Then only one can realize what is this affair going on between Srimati Radharani, gopis and Krishna. So therefore, certainly beauty is in the eye of beholder, but the real beauty is perceived by the soul's eye, not by material eyes. You know, I saw one in one of the shops in Bombay. It was written, "Real eyes, real eyes, real lies." Very interesting statement. Real eyes, realize real lies of the world. When we have spiritual vision, transcendental vision, then we will realize the lies of the world. So therefore, it is very, very important to understand that whenever we are seeing with our material eyes, with our contaminated mindset, we cannot understand these pastimes. They may look very lusty, they may look very immoral, but the more we get purified, as Shukdev Goswami gives the conclusion, Rid rogam ashu apahinoti achirena pumsaha. If somebody reads these pastimes of Ras Leela, the lust goes away from the heart. But if we are not in right consciousness, hearing and reading these pastimes may increase the lust. So therefore, better stay away from these pastimes and focus on the basic philosophy and the various other pastimes, unlimited pastimes are mentioned in Bhagavatam. So rather than going directly and jumping into all these pastimes of Ras Leela, which may end in contaminating our material mindset even more, pastimes are supremely pure. But if we look at these pastimes with our spectacles of three modes, we will not get elevation in Krishna consciousness. And then the disciples, they say, actually the conjugal pastimes of Krishna, they are perfect pastimes for those who are pure in their consciousness. And when people say, oh, how can Krishna perform such pastimes? Why he cannot perform? Krishna is absolute. He's a source of everything. So if he's a source of everything also, he's a source of all romance also. We see the romance of this world. It is temporary, ends in either misery or separation. But the romance of Krishna ends in unlimited bliss. That is what Krishna has come to give people. Somehow or other, yena kena prakaren manah Krishne niveshayet. Srila Prabhupada once he said, even if a drunkard drinks the wine thinking that, oh, this wine, the taste of wine is Krishna, he will advance. Although that advancement will be very little, but he will advance. So Krishna never gives, he wants everybody to somehow or other think about him. So therefore, those people who have no conception about Krishna consciousness, even if they read these pastimes, just because they are some romantic pastimes, they will get some sukriti. But if we read those pastimes, understanding the philosophy, who is God, who is Krishna, then it will give us realizations. So now the gopis, as they were looking for Krishna, searching, looking at the footprints. So what is happening on the other side? So Krishna, who was with Srimati Radharani, and Shukdev Goswami does not take the name of Srimati Radharani. He says that particular gopi, she was thinking that, oh, just see, Krishna has left all the other gopis and he is with me. So she started thinking herself as special. And then, as this thought came in the mind of this particular gopi, Krishna abandoned that gopi also. So this is a very, very powerful thing which Krishna is telling through all these pastimes. He cannot bear his devotees becoming proud. Whoever you may be, although all these things are pastimes, but still we can learn from these pastimes that Krishna is very, very intolerant to pride personalities. Anybody who is proud, whatever he has, whatever skill he has, Krishna does not like it. And therefore, because this special gopi felt little proud, and she told Krishna, oh Krishna, I cannot walk. I am walking in this forest for a long time. I have become tired. Can you please carry me? So Krishna, when he heard this, he said, yes, please climb on my shoulder. I'll carry you. And as she was just about to climb, Krishna disappeared. And that's how this gopi felt great remorse. She started crying. He nath ramana sreshta kwasi kwasi mahabhuja dasyaste kripaniya me sakhe darshaya sannidhim. Oh Krishna, oh my lover, oh master, where are you? Where are you? She started calling, wailing, crying loudly, please come in front of me, show yourself to me. So therefore, very important thing which Krishna is telling, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also tells. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of his reasons of appearing in this world, Sannyasi Pandit Ganera Karite Garvanash, Neech Shudra Dwara Karen Dharme Ra Prakash. हरिदास द्वारा नाम महात्म्य प्रकाश, सनातन द्वारा भक्ति सिद्धांत विलास, श्री रूप द्वारा ब्रजेर प्रेम रस लीला, की बुझिते पारे गंभीर चैतन्य रखेला. So Mahaprabhu, because he does not like a proud personality, sannyasis and pandits, they were becoming very proud of their renunciation or knowledge. To destroy the pride of these people, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu employed the lowest of the people from the society so that the pride is completely smashed. नीच शूद्र द्वारा करें धर्मेर प्रकाश. He employed Shudras and Yavanas to destroy the pride of these sannyasis and pandits. Who were they? Haridas Dwara Naam Mahatmya Prakash. Haridas Thakur was a Yavana. He made him Namacharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Haridas Thakur Namacharya. Sanatan Dwara Bhakti Siddhanta Bilas. Sanatana Goswami, he also was, transformed into a Malich Muslim. Mahaprabhu told them, you just write about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Bhakti Siddhanta Vilas. Shri Rupa Dwara Brajer Prema Rasa Leela. And he told Rupa Goswami, you write about the pastimes of Vrindavan. Excavate the holy places. Make wonderful temples, gorgeous worship. Ki bujhite pare gambhir chaitanya rakhela. Who can understand the wonderful pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So therefore, Krishna does not like a proud personality, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing. So therefore, Trinadapi Sunichena is a very, very utmost important principle of spiritual life. So as this gopi, she was left by Krishna, she started very loudly crying, calling for Krishna, oh Krishna, please come in front of me. So Shukdev Goswami said, in this way, as this gopi, she was crying, all the other gopis, they were continuing their search and they found this gopi. And this gopi, she was crying, lamenting, and then they saw, oh, this gopi, she was so very fortunate. Krishna was with her, but now Krishna has left her. And then they asked, what happened? And then she told about how she was so very fortunate of getting association of Krishna, but because of her misbehavior, she became proud and she misbehaved with Krishna, and Krishna left her. All the gopis, they when they heard, they became very much amazed. And in this way, they were searching. They went deep and deep in the forest for a long way. The forest was becoming more and more dense. The moonshine was not even entering. The foliage was so very dense. They were not able to see anything. So in desperation, they came back. And they came to the place where where Yamuna was flowing. All the while, as they were searching and returning back, their minds and thoughts were focused on Krishna. Tanmanaskastadalapas tadvicheshtastadatmikaah tadgunanev gayantyo natma garani sasmurahu. So Shukdev Goswami says, their minds, tan manasakaha, their minds were completely absorbed in Krishna. Tadalapaha, they were singing the glories of Krishna. Tadvicheshtaha, they enacted pastimes of Krishna again. Reaching Yamuna, they enacted the pastimes of Krishna again. Tadatmikaha, they were filled with Krishna only. Tadgunaneva gayantyo, and they were chanting the glories and the qualities of Krishna. So in this way, they forgot even their homes. That is the power of Krishna consciousness. When somebody gets absorbed in Krishna's thoughts, automatically he loses his attraction for his home. As in the Brahmar Geet, it will come. The gopis, they are telling that in Vrindavan there are so many people who have given up their homes and they have become wretched. They have given up their wretched family and they have become wretched searching after Krishna. यदनुचरित लीला कर्ण पीयूष विप्रुट सकृत अदन विधूता द्वंद्व धर्मा विनष्टा सपदि गृह कुटुम्बम दीनमुत्सृज्य दीना बहव इह विहंगा भिक्षुचर्याम चरन्ति. So many beggars are moving around in Vrindavan searching after Krishna. So therefore all these gopis, they are also completely absorbed in Krishna. They gave up all their thoughts about their homes, forgot their homes completely. And therefore they became completely conscious of Krishna only. In this way they came back, and on the bank of the river Yamuna, they were sitting and waiting for him. In this way they were singing the glories of Krishna, absorbed in his pastimes. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Anybody has any questions? Okay, so we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.